This graph shows the rapidly increasing incarceration rate in the United States. Since the early 1980s, there has been an exponential increase in this rate, largely due to changes in sentencing and a self-dubbed war on drugs. Involvement in the prison system is now a reality for many people, and there is widespread skepticism about the effectiveness of punitive sentencing. In recent years, prisons have lost their guiding rationale, which was rehabilitation. Prisons have simply become places of sheer mass warehousing of prisoners, with the focus on maintaining control and on having prisoners simply serve their time. For a correctional system to truly be a correctional system, and not just a punishment system, there must be some kind of rehabilitation program for criminals. Otherwise, all that is left is a brute warehousing program that we have today. Author and sociologist David Garland details the crisis of penological modernism in his publication Punishment in Modern Society. The loss of the rehabilitation ethic is a driving factor within this crisis, according to Garland, and Garland, along with many other philosophers and sociologists, asserts that rehabilitation is a fundamental piece of the correctional system. The lack of effective rehabilitation programs in prisons is especially problematic for inmates with drug-related issues, which tends to be a significant part of the prison population. In the following interview, this woman details how the prison system doesn't solve people's problems. In fact, it magnifies them. It can make people worse addicts or just better criminals.
I know for a fact that going into the jail system and then the prison system, they come out a better addict and a better criminal. And so, prison and jail is not rehab. It's not meant to be rehab. It is to house the criminals.
This woman clearly has a very narrow view of what prisons are intended for, and she is a good representation of the population who doesn't even believe that rehabilitation is at all a part of the correctional system. This is a huge problem, and as she alludes to, there needs to be more focus on drug rehabilitation within prisons. Society as a whole is reluctant to make vast changes to the correctional system, though, as being quote-unquote soft on crime isn't popular, regardless of political persuasion. Many people with the power to change problems in correctional systems today are uninterested or unmotivated, largely because of their social position and experiential distance from the prison system. In order to combat this phenomenon, called being a penal spectator, it is important to inform the public about the realities of the prison system. More and more, these issues are being brought into the public spotlight.
In theory, prison is meant not just to punish, but rehabilitate.
However, rehabilitation seems to be a far-flung theory. Prisoners re-entering society face many challenges, and unfortunately, about half of them end up back in prison. John Patakis is our criminal justice expert from Seton Hall University, here to talk about that issue. Welcome, John. Let's talk about the issue of re-entering society. It seems to me, as we get real tough on crime, that we don't think a lot about what happens when these guys get out.
Well, it's a good point, Brian, and right now we're having to look very carefully at that because you see the statistics indicate that 50% of them within 3 years end up reoffending and back in prison. So that is not a good rehabilitation rate.
These ideas are not new, though. Philosopher Mikhail Foucault suggested that punishment should be not only repressive, but also productive. This notion of punishment should be the basis of our correctional system today. As this issue gains more and more public spotlight, the rehabilitation ethic will be forced to return to our quote-unquote correctional system. I hope that this video helps inform and spark curiosity about the quality of the prison system today.